Hello everybody, happy Friday the 13th, I'm PrincePhillay and welcome to my news show. Let's get started. So, today I have 3 stories, and they're all pretty hot button topics. I don't really want to waste too much time, so I'm just going to get right into it. With my number 1 story, the FBI has labeled black identity extremist groups as the new domestic terrorist threat. Excuse me. Basic translation, Black Lives Matter is now a terrorist organization. It's putting it in very layman's term. This happened a couple days ago after a counter-terrorist study from the FBI has discovered that in retaliation to the blacks being killed by God, I can't believe I just said that. Being killed by police officers, the retaliation is becoming violent. And it's not words anymore, it's action, and it's death, and it's bad. A lot of people are pretty upset about this. I think I have a quote from the NAACP right here, where it's talking about like how white supremacists are getting away with like Charlottesville stuff, but here we are going back to the 1960s and like when they were wiretapping Martin Luther King and stuff like that. It's not good. And I disagree. It's gonna offend people, I know. But if you look at it this way, if you're doing nothing bad, then the FBI doesn't have anything to worry about. Basically, everybody is a threat because everybody has the potential to do something wrong. But if you don't do anything wrong, then so what? I've seen videos of Black Lives Matter just, walking the streets, shouting about how they want dead pigs. Back a year ago when the Dallas shooting happened in a town where I live, people were happy. They were celebrating that cops were dying while trying to protect people at a rally that was against cops. This whole thing against cops it's valid only sometimes, but it doesn't have to be all the time, because what is the cop there for? They're there to protect us from bad things. And if you're not doing anything bad, does it really matter? Black people and police don't mix. And for the life of me, I can't figure out why. I've had run-ins with police officers, and they've all been pretty alright. The worst I've ever gotten was a warning, and that was from a black police officer. The times I've run into white police officers, they were very nice and they were understanding, and they just let me go. I even had an aunt who was a police officer for a long time, for I want to say 20 years, and she quit. So it's like, I don't really get how this is a thing. If you don't commit crimes, then you don't get punished. And like I said, that there are moments where that's not true. There are moments where people who have done nothing wrong are treated like shit. Excuse my language. And I'm not okay with that. But I'm not going to sit here and turn a blind eye when people are calling for the death of people who are just doing their job. So for my second story, this one's probably going to quell some of that anger that people are probably feeling with me because of my opinions for the first story. But this one is going to be about Eminem's diss track on Trump. So the BET Awards happened, well, BET Hip Hop Awards happened a couple days ago. I think on the 6th, maybe? I'm not sure. But it happened a couple days ago. And, there were some good things. Cardi B, she won Best Track. Kendrick Lamar, as expected, got Album of the Year. And DJ Khaled got DJ of the Year. But, name another DJ as big as DJ Khaled. Everybody was more interested, though, in what was going on with Eminem and his freestyle against Donald Trump. I can't remember the name of it, but it was good. It was a pretty good one. He brought up some really good points. It was, I'm trying to see if I have a note right here. He brought up Trump's reaction to what happened in Puerto Rico, which was pretty bad. He brought up Trump's reaction to Las Vegas, which I can't ever remember. I'm sorry, I don't even remember what Trump said about that. And he brought up his reaction to Charlottesville, which his Charlottesville reaction was heavily panned by just about everybody. He also talked about Trump's wall plan and talked about Trump versus the NFL, how that's kind of a dumb thing. And he also even brought up Trump's notorious tweets, which it's not a discussion about President Trump if you're not talking about his tweets. He's getting a lot of support from a lot of people. His fans obviously are pumped for his upcoming album. Even Kaepernick gave him a shout out, and Eminem, he's kind of been, but this is obviously going to bring him back. It's a very calculated move, but it's not a bad one. He's talking about something that should be talked about. Then there's the part I don't like about this, though. In the end, he had mentioned Trump supporters and Eminem fans, and he mentioned that there's no in between. And and if you support Eminem, but you support Trump, Eminem doesn't want your support. And I can't get behind that. People disagree. So what? If you support Donald Trump, you're not hurting anybody, per se, I guess. I don't know. But you're not. And it's just like to divide your fan base like that, to cut yourself off from the people who built you up, from the people who allowed you to make a diss track about Donald Trump, and it becomes #1 on my trending feed. It's like, is that fair? Is that really nice? Should you have been doing that? I don't think so. And then my number 3 story is kind of like an update to a big thing that's going on right now with Harvey Weinstein. Yeah, so now Kate Beckinsale has come forward as an accuser of Harvey Weinstein and his sexual misconduct. I'm pretty sure we all have been hearing about it. He's been accused by a lot of actresses, some from newcomers like Cara Delevingne, to people who are pretty big like Angelina Jolie, and they're all accusing him of harassment and coercing. And let me say this, that's wrong. That I don't care who's doing it, whether it be a woman doing it or a man doing it, it's wrong. So Beckinsale recounts arriving at his hotel when she was just 17. He did this when she was 17. It's gross. I'm sorry, it's just gross. She was told to go up to his room, and when she went up to his room, he was there in a bathrobe. I'm gonna read exactly what she said, or a quote from her Instagram post. So she says, "She was incredibly naive and young, and it did not cross my mind that this older, unattractive man would expect me to have any sexual interest in him. She declined to drink from him and made excuses about having school and quickly left unharmed." So luckily she was unharmed, but she also recounts that she came across him a couple years later, and he asked if he did that. He asked, like, did he do anything like that to her? And I'm just kind of like, ew, does that mean he does it so often that he loses track? And I mean, it was almost 30 years ago, but still, ew, honestly, as I'm reading this, I get 2 more, Rose McGowan and Minka Kelly. 2 more women just accused him, one as soon as 48 minutes ago. So this is pretty bad, but time to make more people mad. So what I've noticed in this post was that she talked about his looks. I'll just read the 3 words that stuck out to me, aside from the fact that she was 17, and this is completely gross. But she said, older, unattractive man. It makes me think, unattractive. So are you saying if he was attractive, this would be okay? If he was attractive, that would, what, make it somehow not as bad? I'm going to relate this to another Hollywood big name, George Clooney. George Clooney is kind of known for playing pranks on people. Some of his pranks are not that innocent. They get as bad as him taking pictures of his junk on people's cameras and waiting for them to find out. And this happened in like the 80s, where you had to take the picture and do a little scrunch thing and then take the film to Walgreens, and then they would develop it and see George Clooney's junk. And it's, if you look at that, is it okay because he's handsome? I don't think so. I wouldn't appreciate George Clooney doing that, just as I wouldn't appreciate Harvey Weinstein doing that. I wouldn't appreciate really anybody taking a picture of their business with glasses on it just because it's a joke, because he just did it with glasses. It's not a joke to me. That's not a joke. That's not funny. That's gross. Don't do that. And because George Clooney is handsome, he gets a pass. I mean, of course, that was in the 80s when it was a long time ago. But this with Miss Beckinsale was 30 years ago. So obviously, things from your past can come back. And, you know, he recounts about it. He talks about it. He's known for being a prankster. And it's okay? I don't think so. So that's really it for my stories. But that's not it for my video. I have some good news and a milestone in two parts of my life. One as a journalist, and two as a very timid human being who can't talk to people. Right here, I have my university's newspaper. I'm going to open up to page 5. And this is my story. So, I'm officially in the newspaper, and I'm officially a writer for University Press. That feels so good, because I've been at this school for 2 years, and I've been too afraid to interview people and submit my stories. Even if I do interview people and write a story, I've been too afraid to submit the story, and it's just a mess. But this means a lot to me. And honestly, I really do enjoy journalism. You know, last semester I took a break from it because I was not feeling like it was for me, and I guess this kind of changes that, you know. So that's gonna be it for today. Goodness, this Texas heat is still insane. I'm really curious to see what you guys have to say about any of these stories, you know, Black Lives Matter being a terrorist organization now, or Eminem's diss track against Donald Trump, which I personally did like it. It was really good. I just didn't like his "it's me or him" ultimatum. I don't like that. Or number 3 about Kate Beckinsale and Harvey Weinstein and even George Clooney's little pranks. Anyway, if you want to check out my book, Al's Mystery, you can find it on Amazon. I'll leave a link in the description. And, you know, like and subscribe if you want to see more of me. And, yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.